Have you ever had a day where you look in the mirror or listen to the thoughts in your head and you just don't feel like yourself? Maybe a heavy wave of sadness hit you out of nowhere, or a sudden spike of anxiety has your chest feeling tight, and you can't even point to a specific reason why. You try to analyze it. You try to think your way out of it, but the emotions just feel too big, too tangled, and completely unpredictable. It's an exhausting place to be. It feels like you're a passenger in a car that's being driven by a storm. And the hardest part is that emotions don't come with an instruction manual. They don't follow a neat timeline, and they certainly don't care about logic. But then, maybe you do something a little unexpected. You open a textbook, or you sit down to solve a math problem. Maybe you open a spreadsheet at work, look at a piece of code, or start organizing a shelf by a strict set of rules. And suddenly, the noise in your room changes. It's a strange kind of relief, isn't it? To move away from the messy, blurry world of human feelings and step into a world where 2 + 2 always equals 4. When our internal world is chaotic, our brains desperately crave a baseline. We need to remember that somewhere out there, rules still apply. Math, science, or even a deeply structured hobby, they don't demand that you explain your feelings. They don't care if you're having a bad day. They just offer you a quiet, beautifully predictable landscape where every action has a clear, unbending reaction. Diving into these topics isn't just about escaping. It's about finding a sanctuary where things actually make sense. Let's take a breath here and think about your own rhythm. When you are feeling completely overwhelmed by stress or emotional static, where does your mind naturally go to find its footing? Do you find yourself cleaning a kitchen counter until the lines are perfectly straight? Do you look up tutorials on how things work? Do you doodle geometric patterns on the side of a page? Notice that feeling of calm that washes over you when a piece of the puzzle finally clicks into place. That isn't just a distraction at work. That is your mind regaining its sense of agency. It's you telling yourself, I might not be able to solve this heavy emotion right now, but I can solve this equation. I can understand this system. We often treat logic and emotion like they are at war with each other, like you have to be either a deeply feeling person or a cold, analytical thinker. But in reality, they need each other. Structure gives our emotions a safe place to rest. It reminds us that even when we feel entirely untethered, there are foundational truths in the universe that remain completely steady. So, let's pass the tomorrow morning test. The next time you wake up and realize your emotions are running the show, when you feel that heavy, unpredictable fog rolling in, I want you to try a micro habit called the logic anchor. Don't force yourself to sit down and do high-level calculus. Keep the friction incredibly low. Find one small, highly structured task that has an undeniable, objective answer. Spend 5 minutes doing a simple logic puzzle or a Sudoku. Read 3 paragraphs explaining a mechanical process, like how a watch functions or how a plant moves water to its leaves. Write down a short, numbered sequence of steps for a routine task you know by heart. Give your brain 10 minutes to play in a world where the rules are clear and the outcomes are guaranteed. Let the predictable rhythm of logic slow down your heart rate. You aren't ignoring your feelings. You are simply giving yourself a solid piece of ground to stand on while the storm passes. You don't have to understand every single emotion today to find your way back to yourself. Sometimes just focusing on one small thing that makes sense is enough. If this sparked a thought, hit subscribe to flip to the next page with us here at The Growth Journal. Let me know in the comments what your go-to logic anchor is when things get loud. I read every single one. And if this video gave you a bit of clarity today, dropping a like helps send this entry to someone else who might need it. See you in the next one.